Hel- Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast number 53. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr. It's April Fool's Day and we debated introducing ourselves
come on.
as the Swan Queen podcast, but then we decided we love you too much to do it to you. So here are the people with me today.
I am Lisa, and you brought me home on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Melanie Fraser Jones. I'm in Acapulco.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm CS Humor on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Steph. I'm Bookstore Romantic on Tumblr, and we didn't do it because we love you. We did it because Serena's a wimp, and we didn't think we could keep a straight face and not have laughter.
I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I could have done it.
Keeping you honest here.
I dare you guys to talk about how much you love Regina in this episode. Actually, I dare you to talk about how much you love Neil.
Well, I can't talk about Neil.
There's nothing to talk about. He's dead.
Exactly.
But he just lies in a cot all the time and just cries and stuff.
I love that he's dead. That's what I loved in this episode. I love that he is deceased.
Alright, let's start. Okay, while we chat here, the cast is supposedly filming in Steveston, some really big sequence, so if I just let out a scream, it's because some crazy information has come up on Twitter.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Anyway, we finally find out Snow's secret. What did you think, guys? Let's just start with that.
I was right.
It was exactly as predicted.
Yeah,
Seriously.
pretty much.
It made the episode kind of boring.
I was. And
Should I apologize for getting it right?
I got it
No,
right, too. We got it
never.
right independently.
I was right
yes.
about
It
you.
was obvious.
And I want to shout out to my beautiful Lexi. She didn't think about who got right, so Walt is the author of the book. So, shout out. Yay! My beautiful sister.
Is it bad that Walt Disney was not the first Walt I thought of? Apparently I've seen Lost too many times.
Whoa!
I thought at first they said Walsh, and I was like, what? He's a wizard and a monkey.
Oh no, please, don't do that to me. Not again.
So, but
I think we've just been watching the show for so long that we've almost become like psychically attuned to all the little. Or maybe
Well, like I was saying,
maybe it's how we watch it, that we watch it for every little teeny tiny bit, so we're able to pick out these things before other people do.
or maybe Adam and Eddie are extremely predictable.
or maybe you guys have started to think like them, and this is very
Yes.
scary.
Oh no.
I think we've said it before in some previous podcasts about the fact that we just have started to think like them is something that should be studied and kept under control because it's not sane. Anyway,
If we ever start being all pro Regina, you know what happened.
yeah. But actually, other than the fact that you called it, what did you think about their actions and the writers deciding to do this with them, do them, or whatever? What's your opinion on that?
I think that's their way to try to make them look bad so that their pressure for Regina looks better in comparison.
Oh please.
Well,
that
I
could
mean,
never happen.
at the end of the day, Regina is still a mass murderer, and Snowing
Exactly.
is not. So
But
there's
in
no
their
way to make
eyes-
Regina look better. But I didn't see the need to tarnish Snowing to that extent in order to make them like more complex or whatnot. If that's what
It's
they were trying
completely
to
out of character.
No, but here's the issue I've always had with Snow. She gathers a whole army to take down Regina, and she just lets her go, has her freedom, lets her live back in her father's castle. I mean, you'd think she'd be under house arrest or something. I don't know.
Well, they
She's
did
No,
pretty
have.
she's
stubborn.
They
under
did.
castle arrest.
They had arrested her, and then they were going to execute her, and then Snow wouldn't let them execute her.
Damn it, no.
But
I just think it's
even
funny that like they're so scared of Regina and her curse, whereas the person that they really wronged, Maleficent, is just out there and apparently doesn't do much to threaten or harm them before the curse gets cast. Like, how does that
Yeah.
even
I
happen?
say it's the red con of the century.
I mean, seriously, Snow was at most, a couple of months pregnant at this point, and then the final flashback shows her significantly more pregnant, and in all those months, like, Maleficent just chills? What? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's weird.
and there's two facts that don't go with this new villain past of Snow and Charming. One, it's we talked about it, I think, in some previous episode. The door that Glinda made them go through, the pure heart door. That's one thing. If they really were so did this thing, how could they go through? And then the fact that it wasn't their darkest secret
In the
in
wizard?
season 3 in that cave of secrets. Like
Echo Cave.
yeah,
Echo Cave, Serena. Echo Cave.
that's
And
the thing.
here's another thing with that, with Glinda's door. The whole reason they couldn't use the Tree of Wisdom was because they weren't sure if baby Emma was going to be good or evil. So why would Glinda's door be different? Snow was
Exactly.
pregnant with baby Charming at the time.
Because Emma was baby Hitler and baby's
Baby Graham.
baby Graham.
There's also the fact that the author was trapped in the book by the apprentice at, like, pretty much right after that, and yet the storybook continued until Regina cast the curse. And there's the other shit, like it got changed after the time traveling and the whole Regina Robin page happened, but he's also the last to hold that position. Makes no sense.
But is
No,
he
but
the
they
last?
said, they
Who says?
mentioned they were a lot of authors.
Yeah.
And
No, but
the
August
quill
said he was the last to hold the position.
the quill is still sitting, like when he gets trapped in the book and the book drops to the ground, the quill is still sitting on top of the book. So I guess maybe the apprentice did it, or maybe
Yeah, I
because
do
he was
think the
inside
apprentice
it, he
is filling
could do
in.
it like
That has
from
to
the
be
inside.
said.
I don't
They
know.
actually already confirmed, I think, somewhere in Twitter that the apprentice picked up the quill and that the sorcerer and the apprentice have been pretty much like de facto taken over the position until they can find another author that's better.
Well, you know what? You know what they need to do? They need to figure out their screening process for this author thing, because clearly their screening process is messed up.
But
Because
then
they
is
hired
it
a
the
psycho.
person
Yeah.
holding the
Oh,
position?
that's one
That's a
up.
clear I have a perfectly good idea of who the next author is going to be, and his name begins with an H and ends with a Y.
Like
Harry?
everyone's.
Harry. Prince Harry is going to be the next author.
Yeah, dude, that's how they're gonna bring in the One Direction fans. It's gonna be Harry Styles.
And One Direction fans are mourning, so maybe they need to do that.
Okay.
I mean, is Harry not perfectly suited to this task?
Well, of course he is, but he's also 12.
They might hold on to the quill until he gets a couple years older, like maybe when he turns 18 or whatever. But I mean, he holds on to that book with dear life, and it didn't just appear to Snow out of nowhere. It obviously got there for a reason, right?
Maybe
Yeah.
they
I don't know,
need
Oh
an
no,
author
I wanted
anymore.
to say something.
Hmm.
That everyone's freaking out because the beginning of the title of the book has apparently says out, but no, they're just it's literally just being calligraphy on Once Upon a Time.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no secret message. It's just calligraphy.
yeah, that's a complete coincidence because yeah, they're not that clever. Anyway,
It's a happy coincidence.
No, they're not that clever because everything that we thought that we understood about the show is now just going fakakta because like all of the details that we've kept up with over the 4 years are starting to not make sense in conjunction with this Operation Mongoose garbage. It's taking all the shit and making stuff not make sense anymore.
How long was that the author for? How much did he manipulate? Like, it's too many questions.
Yeah.
Answer from Twitter from Jane that she says that the author manipulated the apprentice, but not Snow and Charming, which I think should have been clearer in the actual episode. Because if you have to make it clear on Twitter,
Exactly.
there's a problem with your writing. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Jane. So
I
yeah.
love you, but I'm sorry.
So apparently that's a thing.
Is she sure that's true? Because the apprentice definitely made it seem like when he confronted the author that the author made him or influenced Snow and Charming to do something.
All the author did was send them in the apprentice's direction. The decision to steal Maleficent's kid and ask the apprentice to do the spell, that was Snowing's choice. They could have made the choice to just let Emma be who she was, let her choose who she was going to be, but they didn't.
Can we talk about what unusual spell that was? Like, the apprentice says, okay, and now I've taken all the darkness out of your child, but if you don't raise her right, she can still be dark. That's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then what did you do?
Yeah, what was the point, right?
We want our money back.
And then they didn't.
He's pretty much saying, I'm taking away your child's free will to make sure that she's absolutely light, but yet she still has free will, as long as you raise her right. You're contradicting yourself.
And then they didn't wind up raising her anyway. She still turned out okay.
Hey, as the sorcerer said, all magic comes with a price, and they paid it like 1,000 times over.
I've heard that on this show before.
Emma paid it.
Yeah,
Emma too. Everyone paid it. Everyone.
Except Regina.
Cruella and Ursula showed up at the portal like, what the hell are you doing? You're supposed to be the fucking heroes! And then fell in.
Yes.
I mean, does it surprise you that Snow seemed to have lost her ability to do logic in this episode? She's like, well, what she gave her to, it was an egg, so there must be some kind of monstrous thing in there. I'm like, does Maleficent look like a monster to you? She's a human being with arms and legs and a head and a torso. So, logic would tell you that her baby probably has a head and arms and legs and a torso.
Well, they weren't totally. I mean, there was maybe a chance that it could have been a dragon. It came out while she was in dragon form.
Especially because we don't know who the father is, if there's a father.
Well, if Maleficent really is half dragon and has babies via eggs instead of in the normal way, she might not have a father.
Well, that's what the dwarves are.
It's donkey.
They're born from eggs too.
It's the donkey from Shrek. That's the father.
Just that scene where the egg started to crack and you saw the little hand come out and she looks at the Charming and goes, Charming, it's a baby! I'm like, oh, this is brand new information!
Oh my
Seriously.
god.
I think I tweeted that to Michelle, like,
yes.
Well, duh!
What did you think it was going to be, Snow? What did you think?
Okay, so apparently when during the last podcast we talked about the Captain Swan movie, we confused some people.
What?
Yeah,
we did.
When we listed our favorite episodes, and we talked about the Captain Swan movie. Some people don't know about the Captain Swan movie.
Really?
It's not a secret. So to the person who said that they were confused, we meant the season 3 finale, episode 21 and 22. no drift and there's no place like home. That's the Captain Swan movie. That's what it's called unofficially.
Yeah, a lot of the newbies to the ship aren't aware of our little inside jokes and things that we.
I mean,
you know,
somebody got
we'll say.
offended by banging like a gentleman. I mean, I took offense in that because I was there when it was decreed.
Yes, I was too.
Oh, drunk tiny shits were the best.
Okay, let's start with some questions. Anonymous wants to know, do you think that Emma will be pulling away from Killian a little bit now because
No.
of the dogs? She told him that she needed some time.
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
And then she hugged him right
No,
after that.
no.
If anything, I think she will cling to him harder because he's the only person left other than Henry that she feels she can trust.
And she won't dump her emotional BS on Henry because he's a kid.
Because she's not Regina.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Serena,
He's much more emotionally mature than Regina.
Why do you steal the words out of my mouth? Seriously. God damn it. I wanted to say it.
I think that question comes from, when she first found out and he tried to hold her hand and she pulled away. Everybody was like, oh my God, she's gonna make it. No, look.
No.
She was angry, and she's the type of person that when she gets mad, she's gonna punch you in the face. She needed to walk away. She needed to walk away.
I understand that part perfectly because I'm the same. There's
Yes.
moments I need to be with someone, and there's moments that I cannot be with someone. Like, I need my me time, and I need to be alone. That's Emma.
Mm-hmm.
She, in that moment, and he understood her perfectly. Like,
That's why he didn't
okay.
go after her until after they got news about August, because he knew she'd want to know that. So that's why he then went after her.
Like, he knows, okay, this, he needs to be alone right now.
And
And there's
also,
nothing wrong with that.
And also think about it. If they thought for a second that she wouldn't want to talk to anybody, her parents would not have sent him. They knew that she would talk to him more than anybody else. She just needed the time to cool off and get her head on straight and absorb,
Yeah, but it still wasn't enough time because she snapped at Snow when she got to the convent.
I love
I don't
that.
blame her. If
That
it
was great.
If it was me, I'd be pissed too. I mean, after what she's been through.
I missed that. Damn, my stream lagging. And then I really need to rewatch the episode.
My fear is that it's gonna end up like in season 3B when it was like, oh, Emma was wrong for wanting to go back to New York and she just needs to accept her parents. When Snow has been the huge problem in their relationship since like early season 3. So yeah.
I don't want this. I don't want this swept under the rug. I want them to actually work this out for into season 5. Like, I'd be cool with that.
Honestly, the way that the dynamic works, I have a feeling that she'd approach her father first before she ever did her mother. I think she would iron things out with her father first, because they know how to talk to each other, they know how to be, they know each other very well. And
but see, here's the thing. I think at least initially, at least up until the finale, that Emma's only going to talk to her parents in conjunction with dealing with Rumple and the threat. That as far as a personal level, she's not going to want to talk to either of them. I mean, we know Snow. Well, spoilers. Never mind. Damn this spoiler thing, Serena. Anyway,
Serena, you're ruining us. You're ruining us.
We're just sure that after the craziness of 21 and 22 and rewriting of stories and all of these,
I think after that
gives her that emotional push to at least sit down and maybe have a coffee.
Well, I think she's gonna understand better, but I mean, that's a big betrayal. That's huge broken trust. I mean, she had that kind of broken trust with Person, and she never got back together with Person. So, I mean, they're her parents, so eventually she's gonna, understand and forgive and move on, but it's gonna take time, and they're gonna have to earn her trust back. And if that just magically resolved in the finale, I'm going to be super pissed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's probably definitely going to be something that leads into 5. It's
Let's hope.
it-
Let's hope this show finally gives us a good
'Cause, I mean-
mother-daughter relationship.
think about it. It took her 3 seasons, almost 4, just to be able to call them mom and dad out, with it not being some dire life or death moment. It took her until season 4 just to be able to call them mom and dad in a regular tone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we say it took her until season 4, but it was less than a year. And
Technically, it was a year because of the last year.
yeah, I mean that she spent with them knowing they were parents. It wasn't really very much time. So it was relatively quick that she started calling them mom and dad.
But at
I
least
think.
we can be content in knowing that she's not going to run from it. In the past, she might have, but she's come too far at this point to.
Well, she
Run
also
away.
has other things keeping her in Storybook
Right.
now.
She's got her
Yeah.
son, and especially Killian. He is her rock. He's the one that's going to be there to lean on, to talk to shoulder to cry on, all this stuff. And God, it just makes me so emotional.
It's okay.
Okay, let's see another question. Anonymous wants to know. Hey guys, there aren't many episodes to go, and I was wondering, how much do you think we have left to learn and bring full circle within the storyline? Any specific criticism and plot holes you would like to point out?
Are you kidding right now?
How might some of those get fixed before the season is over? I think we have already pointed out a few plot
Yeah.
holes.
Yes.
Girl, we would need a
Plot
whole
line.
other podcast just to talk about plot holes.
There's
Okay.
so much of this author plot that does not make any sense, and I'm hoping that it'll make more sense by the time it's over. But
There was enough
Right
plot
now,
holes
it's a
to
mess.
begin with.
Can we acknowledge that we were talking a few podcasts back that the only two possibility of this storyline was that the author was either an historian or a demented Sims player, and it ended up being both.
yes, yes.
Supposed to be a historian, but instead he's a demented Sims player.
Like
There was-
most authors are historians, but this one is a demented Sims player.
Yes.
But he did not mess with Regina happy because he was so trapped. So it was just her paranoia, like usual.
Like, I honestly want somebody to go up to Regina and be like, no, bitch, I did not touch you. I'm too scared to do that.
But you know something? It vindicates what we always knew all along. That despite what this current author has done in the past, in the millennia that this job has been a job, that it was to observe and record, but do not interfere. Which means all those decisions that they made for their stories was their own choices. Sorry,
Yep.
Rumple, you are mistaken. You screwed
Yes.
up of your own free will.
And oh god. Also, there are Belfast who are saying that
Oh God.
it's not harassment. I'm like,
Oh God.
oh god.
Mm,
Are we gonna go into an anti-Rumbell rant?
I know.
Come on, I'm sorry, I just saw a post, so
Because I could go on an anti-Rumbell rant.
please go. Please
She
do.
wouldn't have wanted him there, and it's just it's icky and creepy the fact that he feels he can only speak with her and interact with her when she doesn't realize it's him or when she's unconscious. I mean,
And it's
Yeah.
not like she wouldn't know. Like, she fell asleep on the floor. She was
Yes.
not in the back room when the sleeping spell hit, and then she wakes up on the bed in the back room. Like, this is not where I was. What the fuck happened?
And honestly,
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but somebody is saying that the whole touching her boob is not sexual harassment. She's touching her somewhere she does not want to be touched by somebody who does not. She does not want to touch her.
Belle would not want to be touched by Rumple full stop. I don't care if it's kissing her hand, picking her up, putting her in a thing,
Seriously.
and caught, touching her chest. No, she does not want.
Let me
She
know.
literally said to him while he was pretending to be Killian that she was afraid to give him the dagger because it was her only protection against him. That indicates that she is afraid of having Rumple come back into her life, and therefore he needs to stay the F away
If
from
you
her.
guys need, I mean, if
Okay,
certain friends need a realistic, okay, I like, I have if my ex were to come back and he even touched my arm, I'd freak out. Because I do not want him touching me, I don't want him near me. And that's the same for Belle. Of course, mine isn't a psychotic murderer, but you get the gist.
I just feel like, Emily DeRevin, she's got to be the new Sleeping Beauty, because how many times have we seen her in an episode and she's just passed out?
can we talk about this sleeping curse, sleeping spell situation?
Sleeping spell.
Sleeping spell.
But it's a sleeping spell, but Snow and Charming, and Harry don't fall under it because they were under the sleeping curse previously. How does it make sense?
I don't know, because they needed those characters to be awake.
It's because the
It's a
sleeping
plot device.
the spell itself is derived from the same ingredients somewhat that she uses for the curse. It's just kind of like a watered down version. So anybody that has fallen prey to it, meaning Aurora, wouldn't fall asleep either.
Yeah, so Aurora was probably really worried about her husband and kid and be like, what the fuck is happening?
But then, a lot of Storybrooke shouldn't have been under the spell because Maleficent put Snow and Charming's kingdom under the spell a few episodes ago in the flashback. They arrived at their kingdom and everyone was asleep. So, most of the dwarves and etc.
Yeah, but that
That wasn't
probably
a
was
curse.
a sleeping
That was the
spell.
spell.
That was
You
the
can
same
do
spell.
multiple times, but a curse.
It's different.
Yeah,
makes you immune to
especially if
spell.
the curse is broken with True Love's Kiss, then I think that makes you immune to a simple sleeping spell.
God damn it,
Because
Serena.
Regina put Geppetto and Pinocchio under a similar. She knocked them unconscious before she snatched Pinocchio, and I'm presuming they were knocked out again too. So
The only reason it worked that way was because we needed those characters to be awake. Just like
pretty much.
we got a Killian is jealous of August conversations because we needed Emma to remind the audience about Lily.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about how Lily was her best friend and they knew each other for 4 hours? What in the origin
Listen,
hell?
Okay.
Hold
In
on.
defense of the friendship, okay, as somebody who has had a lot of trouble making friends, when you connect with someone as deeply as Emma connected with Lily, you do, even if it ends badly, okay, she's still going to consider her best friend.
And I think it was more than 4 hours. I think it was like a week or something.
Yeah, you have to kind of look at it from Emma's point of view. This is a girl who's been alone her entire life, who tends to push people away and not interact with people. So for her to be able to make a friend is a big deal. Anybody that she makes a friend with, because she has so few, she considers to be very important, like August, Ram, Lily, she considers it to be I think now she's starting to regret the fact that she pushed her away when she feels like she really shouldn't have.
Yeah, I get that they were really connecting in those few hours, but for example,
we don't know if it was just a few hours.
Yeah, because her father found them the day after. They spent the night at Lily's house, Lily's summer house or whatever, and then her father found them. Anyway,
Right. We do know
I'd
there
say
are.
more, but there's spoilers.
Yeah. That.
There's other stuff to it, I guess.
And I really wish that the fandom, oh my god, I really wish the fandom would not jump on every single excuse that they can find to assume that because one character comes back into the story that immediately means they're going to drive a wedge between two other characters. Just because
Seriously.
it is physically possible for someone to have a friend of the opposite sex. It does occur. August is more
Don't tell
like-
them that. You're breaking
or,
their bubble.
you know,
You're
August
breaking
is
their
always-
delusional bubble.
August has always been more of that brother type figure, and they're all assuming just because he's there and Killian was a little bit jealous of him that he's thank you Natalie fucking Abrams for planting this stupid seed.
Yeah, they said right now we can say that they had a brother-sister relationship, but let's just be honest. In back in season 1, they were chemistry testing them, and I mean they failed and it didn't go further. But if they had chemistry, I actually think that the love triangle would have been August, Emma, and Hook instead of Hook,
Yeah.
Neil,
Yeah.
and Emma.
I
I
didn't
agree.
think so.
I mean, at the end of the
I
day,
don't think
Emma didn't
Neil
get
was
back
ever
together with
planned
Neil,
to
who
be
she
part of
loved
the
after he
love
sent her
affair.
to jail. She's not going to get together with August, who also sent her to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But
Emma
let's
and-
be real, they didn't decide that August was the one helping Neil send Emma to jail until after the attempted chemistry bits in season 1.
Yes.
To be honest, I think the whole scene, as cute and cuddly as it was, because let's be real, the scene was very cute. Him being jealous, that's just because he's used to not having someone in his life that he loves as much as he loves her. So of course he'd be,
And
he doesn't
let's
lose
be
her.
honest. Let's be honest. This isn't the first time he's shown a little flare of jealousy towards another male figure in Emma's life. The only two males he has not been jealous of are Charming and Henry.
He's also used to being all piratey and posturing and like alpha male type shit.
Yes.
Even if it's used as like a facade half the time, like
Exactly.
checking in to see if it needs to be used here.
I mean, come on.
I mean, he
The guy
didn't get
was-
like
yeah.
he didn't
I mean-
forbid her to see him or any other kind of crazy bullshit like Rumple would pull.
Yeah, Kelly is not a possessive person.
Honestly, come on.
Let's be honest. The scene itself was more for levity's sake because the rest of the episode was so heavy. He needed something light, and that was the light moment.
Honestly, the guy was jealous of himself. From
Exactly.
back. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
He gets jealous of any man who is not related to him, even himself.
He punched himself in the face.
Exactly.
He was asking for it.
It was adorable.
Okay, let's go to another question. Anonymous wants to know, Captain Swan aside, what type of character development as far as relationship with others go would you like to see before the finale?
More Captain Charming.
For real.
Of course.
Captain Charming and Emma Snow. Need some Emma Snow going on.
Can I get some Killian and Snow?
Yes, Killian and Snow. I would like to have seen. I really liked how you wrote that little ficclet of between after she leaves and he's left with them and how he reacts to what he's just learned.
Oh,
I would like
Really?
to have seen I would like someone to write like the two of them come to the ship to try to talk to her and he like erects this wall where he's not going to let them in because she doesn't want to see them and they get into like this argument because he's trying to protect her and doing as she wants and they're mad because they're her parents and they want to see her. I kind of wanted to go back and forth.
I mean, Killian's been on this show since season 2, and after Tallahassee, I don't think he and Snow have had a one-on-one conversation that we witnessed where we heard what they were talking about. Like, seriously, come on,
I'd
give
like
it to
to
me.
see some more Emma and Henry because this whole Operation Mongoose thing is just totally shoved that relationship to the side because Henry.
and it's the healthy one. Come on. She's the healthy mom.
Yeah.
Because
And
yes,
Billy
people,
and
his
Henry.
name is Henry Swan. Swan. Say it with me,
Yeah.
Swan.
I want some Killian and Henry. And now that the damn ship is back, I want some Captain Cobra Swan family times. I want some of them going out sailing on the ship and having some fun together.
Honestly, this episode connected Emma and Lily in a way, so I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of closure there between the two of
Oh,
them.
we'll get that. Thing.
Okay, let's go to another question then. This is a question about the ratings from Anonymous. I guess
Oh, dear.
people are worried a lot about the ratings. Okay, so they say, so I know it's basically a clear shot to season 5 from here, but I can't help but frown whenever the ratings come in. Why do you guys think they keep getting lower?
Because
Especially
no
with
one's interested in the
Aye, let me finish. You do it every time. Especially with how popular the previous episode was, considering it was number 10 on iTunes. Okay, now you can speak, Mai.
Come on, because nobody's really interested in this fucking altar plot. They're like,
Okay,
like,
that's the theory.
honestly, I talked to some of my friends on Skype. I have a group
Well-
of another fandom, and they sort of watch Once Upon a Time, and they're like, yeah, I'm not interested, so I'll watch it later.
Yeah, that's the biggest deal. It's a truth of how technology works. These days, very few people, unless they're ultra super huge mammoth-sized fans, don't typically tune in live to watch. Most of them will either DVR it and watch it later, or they'll wait for an upload link. But you also have to think that Nielsen rating is coming from people that have a Nielsen box. That's
Yeah,
not a lot. It's a lot less people than you think.
Okay, the
Yeah.
Nielsen ratings are notoriously flawed, and they are working
Yes.
on trying to take, get a better sample of who's actually watching and whatnot. The Live plus 3 ratings are fine, which is the live, and then people watch it, within 3 days on their DVR or whatever. Those are still okay, and again, the show is really, really close to hitting syndication. After season 5 will give us 110 episodes, so we get season 5. I think ABC, if the show is still making a profit, then then season 6 should be in the bag.
Honestly, and right now,
This show is its cash cow.
yeah,
It's not going to go nowhere.
Now
it's just big
when
money.
when actors contracts come up, then people should probably start getting concerned.
I think their contracts are signed up to season
Dun
5.
dun dun.
So after that, they have the option to renegotiate and stay on longer or leave. But I mean, there's nobody on that show has ever expressed any desire to leave. They all seem to be fairly happy with.
There's some we hope would leave. I mean, there's some characters we hope
Yes.
they leave,
But I mean, everyone. I mean, and think about this right here. When Jennifer Morrison was on House, by the time the House got into its, I don't know, third or somewhere between its third and fourth year, you could already tell that she wasn't happy. The character went from being in the main cast to going into the ER, and you rarely saw her.
Was season 4 was when she started in the ER.
Right, and then it got to a point where her character was barely there anymore.
Yeah.
And it didn't surprise when she decided to leave, because
She didn't decide to leave. They fired her. She
Yes.
didn't decide. It was all the producers. They said something like it was a creative decision because they had to pimp House and Cuddy together. And no, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. But it's true. Anyway,
I mean,
Cameron forever.
Cameron.
yes.
Cameron.
Cameron.
But I honestly think that she doesn't seem like she wants to go anywhere. She seems happy, and as long as the star is happy, why are you going to close down a show when they successively
Well,
their
Well,
time slot
okay.
like every week.
Okay, see, here's my thing though, is that it was a big deal when Damon and Carlson of Lost went to ABC and said, "Hey, we have this much story to tell, and can we have an end date, etc." That was a big deal because most shows don't do that, and
No.
because Once Upon a Time is a fairy tale and not like CSI or NCIS or one of those type shows or Castle or something. I feel like drama wise and storytelling wise, it makes sense for them to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to the story,
Seriously.
and
We
that
don't want it to
and that
be.
season 4 is, if say it's 7 years, season 4 would be the midpoint, and then they could spend the next 3 years like gearing up towards whatever end they have in mind, and that isn't a bad thing, and that they should start planning for some kind of end at some point. I mean, I want to keep Colin on my TV as long as humanly possible, but I also want a good story. I don't want to be
We do
watching
not
him
want
do
a redo
bullshit in
of
season
One Tree Hill.
7 with the show spinning its wheels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We do not want a redo of of the travesty that was the later years of One Tree Hill, where it was
Exactly.
just the actors, but the characters were completely different.
Don't know about that.
Hey, yes.
And you know what? You really can't go by March ratings. Let's not forget, March Madness is in full swing. Everybody and their mama is watching basketball games. So
And also,
sports
as
tends
somebody who is experiencing it at the moment, there's spring break, there's Easter break.
Yes.
Exactly.
Easter break.
Now, if the ratings are still like this, come May finale time.
The finale usually it don't go a lot up. It's usually the premiere that goes up because people have the whole summer to catch up.
This
That's
is true.
usually-
And remember, OUAT was like one of the most watched shows on Netflix not that long
Yeah.
ago. So a lot of
In
people
the camera,
like,
you call it OUAT.
What? Do we not go
I
around
just
calling it
think-
what?
with
apparently not.
with as huge as this show is, honestly, I cannot imagine unless the ratings dropped to something below a 1.0.
I mean, it's still ABC's #1 show on Sunday, and their development slate, unless their development slate is like really, really awesome or something, then they don't have anything to put there that's going to do as well. So lower, smaller ratings. That's across the board. Every network is dealing with that. It's not just ABC. It's not just once.
And even if their development is really, really great, a couple of years ago they had Shield, who was really, really great in theory and did premiere to really, really great ratings, and now it's really, really low, like it's going lower than
No, but
Flash.
Shield has the really, really shitty problem that they have backtracked one of their most interesting character and not put him in episodes. So it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch him. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in watching my favorite character, but he's not in.
Yeah, but the ratings started falling a lot earlier than that. I know what Shield, but I know what you mean. The ratings started falling before. So anyway, we went from analyzing one's rating to Shield ratings. I'm sorry.
But seriously, come on, because the Shield, the thing is that they're waiting for Ultron to get their big kick, and I'm like, seriously, no, right around it, not right forward.
Ro, what were you saying?
Well, with season 4, I feel like the biggest flaw at the moment is the hype for the Queens of Darkness, and then, I'm just a little underwhelmed at the moment. Now the Ultra storyline has gotten a bit interesting.
Yes, I mean we were less than halfway through the arc, and one of them's gone already.
Yeah.
Yes, and you don't let the other ones do anything.
Yeah, Cruella. What does Cruella do other than sit? I mean, I love Cruella. Don't get me wrong, but what does she do besides snark at people?
Yeah,
Done nothing
it's
except be the
Let's
driver.
ask the August.
and Maleficent actually called Rumple out on this. She's the only one that he needs, and it's because of
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
We all know that he needs the spell reversed.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to another question. Anonymous wants to know, what did you think of Killian being jealous of August? Okay, I want to say that it was only the second most inappropriate moment to express jealousy. The first is still Emma while the blue fairy was getting murdered.
Yes. Yes.
That-
Yeah, Emma, pot,
that's
meat, kettle.
That's still number one most inappropriate moment to express jealousy when a nun is getting murdered. But this is number two.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I
it
love
was.
that.
It
I
was.
love that moment because Tinka she's looking at them like you're both idiots.
Yeah, it was. At the end of the day, it was adorable. I didn't have a problem with it, and it led to them, sitting on that couch and Emma draped halfway over him when the sleeping spell hit. So I'm for it.
Yeah, even doing in that scene before, they were just sitting on a couch. Were they watching TV? Were they
They were
why were
talking.
they just sitting on the couch with no one else in the loft?
They were staring at the stairs across the room.
You were cuddling.
They were
Aw.
talking.
They
They
were.
were actually. No, actually, I don't think they were talking. I think like he falls asleep mid-word or something.
Yes, she
They
does.
didn't have any snacks. They didn't have anything to drink with them. They were just sitting on a couch, like.
Talking.
Anyway, another question to go with this from Anonymous. I just want to know if any of you guys noticed the off-screen kiss between Emma and Killian right before she hugged him at the apartment. I swear I heard a kissing sound right before the hug.
I wouldn't be
They
surprised.
were like heavily burrowed into each other's shoulders.
Well,
and
and not just that, but you could possibly argue that he kisses her temple when he hugs her at the docks too.
Okay,
True.
but can we speak about Snow and Charming whispering to each other?
What was that, man?
That's me.
I'm
That's
going-
me. That's me. I'm trying to get Ubu up because she hasn't called yet, and I'm trying to figure out why she hasn't. She's usually very prompt.
What?
My instructor.
Yeah,
My instructor.
we totally just heard that. Anyway,
Go ahead.
Regardless, okay, but maybe we could buy that Emma and Killian were like really into their PDA and not listening on the whisper conversation, but Henry would have been really not into the PDA and totally would have been listening in on his
well, they
friend.
also
Totally
like
zoned out.
in the wine shot. I think Henry's like studiously staring at the book, so he doesn't have to
Right,
watch
like,
his mom and her
listen.
boyfriend have a PDA.
What's it called? Blocking, where they decide where actors should.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever
yes.
was in
Yes.
charge, I don't know if it's the director or someone else.
There's
Badly
somebody here
failed.
actually that is in charge of blogging. Like it's their job.
Who? Who
Go
is?
to another section of the room at least. No, don't just
I
stand
know,
there.
right?
I didn't hear who is in charge of the blocking.
No, I mean there's usually a person that is in charge of just blogging.
Yeah.
Do they have a name? A
The
title?
director.
Is there a
remember the
blocking
name.
coordinator, a blocker?
No, it's something. Well, it is something coordinator or something like.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, whoever you are, dude, you failed.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go to another question from You Bested Me Swan. Has anyone ever reached out to the writers and Adam and Hedy wanting to know if they really plan on redeeming Rumpel and making Rumble Endgame? Not that we should ask them about it, no way. Just has it ever been addressed at least a little in a Twitter convo with a fan or whatever? I know they won't give a straight answer, but seriously, it cannot happen. It just can't. It's disgusting. Rumpel telling a sleeping bell that he will come back for her when she wants him to do the exact opposite. Ha, creepy.
No, but and here's the thing. He didn't just say. He said, "If I'll come back to you if I can." So if it's good for him, he'll come back. If not, he won't.
At this point, I don't know how they could make Rumble Endgame, but they also try to sweep under the rug the fact that he murdered his wife. So
Yes.
I wouldn't put
Yeah,
anything
but at the
past
same
them.
time, in weird defense, that was when they were still making it Romeo Endgame. So
I mean, to me,
maybe they have changed their mind, or maybe Bobby was like, you know what? No.
I mean, I've said this before. Rumbell works best as a tragedy, as the one instance where true love does not conquer all. And if
Bella's
they
a good
try,
person.
she is a good person, but there's being a good person, and then there's letting the dude who's assaulted you and betrayed you and abused you back into your life. I mean, that's
they
messed
really
up.
care about you.
But then how can it be true love if he really doesn't truly love her? How can
Well,
it be true
No,
love?
here's the
Well,
thing.
see, and that's
I
the thing.
think
I think
it was true love, but it's not anymore.
in that moment in Skin Deep, when Belle tries to true love's kiss his curse away, in that moment it was true love. But the moment he rejected her, it stopped being true love.
Yeah, I agree with
Is
that.
Is it just his curse holding them back? I mean, if
It's
he
him.
wasn't the Dark One, would things be different?
I mean,
Just
they wouldn't ever have met.
This is one of those moral things. Just because you have true love does not necessarily mean that it works out. I mean, look at Mulan and Aurora. Mulan truly loves her, but she can't be with her because Aurora is in love with Philip.
I mean, we don't know if they have true love. I mean, we know Mulan loves her, but we don't know if they have true love or if it's just a first love like
It's
Emma and
average
Miel.
love.
It doesn't. It might be true love, but it doesn't mean that it always works. A lot of people like to say that Mila was Hook's first true love, and that now Emma is his second. I don't want to believe that. Hey,
I think he loved her, but I don't think it was true.
I mean, I think the problem is that we go back to season 1 and we see that Snow and Charming became true love because they were tested and they survived all these tests, and that I like. It was meaningful. It wasn't just they met and Pixie Dust said that they were true love before they even laid eyes on each other. It's not just because it's Regina. It's the principle of the thing.
Yes.
They
But
met,
here's the
they
thing,
liked
they
each
never
other, they
have
fell
it.
in love, and they fought for each other. And after all those things, after they fought for each other, that's when they became true love. It's
Yes.
something they have to work at. It's not something.
True
It's
love
just
is
given.
like
It's
my
not something.
beautiful Charming says, true love isn't easy, but it must be fought for. Because once you get it,
It can't be replaced.
Yes,
Exactly.
I forgot the last.
And I mean, it's just because they fight for each other, and then we see Rumble when it's the opposite. We see Belle fights, but Rumple does the opposite every day, and even Outlaw Queen, like maybe she
Oh,
could
Queen
have
is very much
fought.
Robin thinking with his cock.
Could have gone
Well-
to him, could have fought for him, and she decides not to.
Well,
So
this is the thing with Outlaw Queen, though, is that, they've been together for, they were together like 3 days before Marion showed up, and then they were together for,
Marion.
and then,
That's right. Okay,
And then they
okay.
were, and then they were,
I mean, you
and
know
then they
what?
were, doing that clandestine thing right after, Marion got
But
cursed.
even if it's not
So they
Marion,
haven't
they
really,
still thought it was Marion. So,
they,
infant.
they haven't had, they haven't gone through all the trials that like Snowing has gone through or that Captain Swan has gone through. So they still have a chance to prove that they have true love, like later down the line. I don't think
And
they have
here's
it
the
now.
thing,
See,
they
no.
never
The, see, that's the thing with the pixie dust. The pixie dust didn't call them true love. The pixie dust called them soulmates, which apparently is different.
They've never referred they've never officially referred to all Jacqueline as true love. They refer to them always as soulmates.
Anyway, let's go to another question from Anonymous. Thoughts on the hand scenes with the author and the apprentice, and this is in all caps, how the fuck does August know this?
I don't know.
August knows
Wait, how the fuck
everything.
does August know
That's
what?
why his nose is so big. It's
Knows
full
all
of
this
secrets.
stuff about the author.
Oh, well,
Because August
clearly,
has spent
the
the
dragon's
majority
note.
of his life researching the book. I mean, everything that
But
he's
why? We saw him in Tucket not doing anything.
that was
Because
only one scene. You don't know what he was doing for the rest of his life. He obviously,
Dude, he stole the 20 grand and then immediately ran for Tucket to get his groove on. What do you think he was doing the rest of his life?
He obviously has been researching this book and how to write in it and how to draw.
But
how
here's
to draw
the thing
pictures
though.
and all this.
Here's the thing though. How did August even know the book existed before he got to Storybrooke?
Well,
Because
How
the
did he
book
know?
appeared
he
to
said he
Mary
took the
Margaret.
stuff from the dragon, right? And that was when he went to see the dragon after Emma got to Storybrooke, because that was when his legs started acting up.
Right.
So the Hong Kong stuff with the dragon happened during Emma stuff between episodes 1 and 9, kind of thing. In
And
season
how did
1.
he know that
And that's
Neil
when he got
was
the papers from the
Balefire?
dragon. I have no explanation. Let's just say it was in the dragon's notes. Can we say
But why
that? Does
would-
that
but-
make sense?
But why would the dragon know? I mean, there's so many unanswered questions with this whole author
He
nonsense.
was a wise old
And
dragon.
I'm telling you, it's why his nose is so big. It's full
You
of
guys,
secrets.
wait. You guys honestly believe that in the entirety of August's existence, prior to the Phuket shit and all that he's never researched
Yeah.
everything he could get his hands on? Do you honestly believe that there's
No,
nothing
but he says
from the
it.
other realms that hasn't let its way through here?
No, but he says
Maybe.
it. I'm not good. He even says it in Tallahassee. I'm not good with temptation. So,
Exactly.
I
Well,
mean,
knew
yeah, we
stuff.
saw
he
his
can
had to
temptation.
know
that
stuff.
he spent his life storing with temptation.
Because he
Uh-huh,
knew
uh-huh.
prior to Phuket that Neil was Balefire. So he knew stuff. I'm not saying that, but like
I
the
still think
pictures with the dragon he didn't have until season 1 had already started.
I still think he found out about Balefire via Pan and John and Michael. I think John and Michael told him.
I really like the idea of August being in the home office, sort of semi-accidentally.
Yes.
Because I mean, so far we've seen a number of people that have come from the other realm, not by curse. Who's to say that there aren't more? Who's to say?
Well, I know that, but I'm not. I don't think August would have had the motivation before
Exactly.
Well, then I guess after
his legs.
I guess after he
Come on.
realized
Because
that his leg was
he's-
turning to
because-
wood and that he would only have a short time before he become a block of
but
wood,
see,
that
here's
he
the
really
thing.
worked very fucking hard.
Here's the thing, though. It's like August. He ditches Emma, baby Emma at the foster home or whatever, and then he doesn't bother to even find her again until she's left the system. And then he decides, oops, I'm supposed to be her guardian angel. I have to do something. And then he bails again for 10 years. And it's not until it directly affects him again that he magically shows up. Some guardian angel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
I
we
would
all-
not want I would rather have a guardian angel like Helena Bonham Carter than have August. Okay?
Okay, we can all agree that August is not the best person at a certain point in time. But then once his legs started turning to wood and he realized that his existence on this earth was at a limit, and that he was going to turn into a block of wood very, very soon if Emma didn't break the curse. He obviously worked his ass off to find out as much as he possibly could. He
But
had
still,
the motivation
it was
to do
selfish.
so.
I don't
It was
think
still
Emma
selfish as fuck.
sees it that way because I think August was one of the few people who actually had her back, and that's what she respects about him, regardless of what she
Exactly.
now knows about what happened with Neil.
Like,
Yeah,
I
he
can
had her back in
respect.
season 1 with Regina and the curse and
I
shit.
can respect
Yes.
her with Swan friendship, and I am a fan of it. But you cannot tell me that August is pre-season 1 while we saw a good person. Because even he says it. I'm not
Yeah.
a good person.
Yeah. I mean, what he did in Self is Brave and True, as terrible as that episode is, and trust me, it's really bad. As bad as that episode is, that does redeem him to a certain extent for all the crap he did to Emma pre-season 1. And I'm sort of mostly okay with him now, and I'm okay with him and Emma being friends. I'm just saying that right now
Really?
the timeline doesn't make sense to me for me to really understand how the heck August knows all of this stuff.
Yes. I
And
still
it's-
go with the nose.
That's why this author Operation Mongoose shit is ridiculous, because they've gone in and cocked up the whole continuum of the Once Upon a Time story. It's
I mean,
making
it was
things
confusing already. It was already confusing.
I know, we
They
already
made
had
it
our-
more confusing.
and now we're dealing with this, which is making more plot holes, and the story had a hard enough time making sense. Now it makes even less sense.
Yeah, it might not make sense, but I think Ian Bailey is actually really good at exposition.
Yeah. He is. Actually.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you guys, but we have like 30 other messages.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
One is all in caps, a petition to start a chapter in your podcast solely to discuss the magnificent that is Jamo's hair. Bye.
Why not?
I adore JMO's hair, and I'm very jealous of it.
Seriously, what the hell, man?
I
That
miss
hair
the
is so
girls.
beautiful. I want it. I want it. Like, give us your secrets.
Another anonymous says it was an okay episode, but what the actual facts knowing. But the CGI was laughable now.
I don't even notice the CGI anymore. Maybe I've just accepted that it's
part
bad.
of the charm. It's part
Exactly.
of the charm. Okay.
Actually,
Okay, remember.
I think that the CGI has gotten steadily better as
Here's the thing. They spend all the money on that stupid outer sorcerer's house, so they don't have anything left in the budget.
Yes. Poor Emma's place. It'll take till season 5.
I thought they borrowed a house.
Yeah, I think they did.
Okay, other question. Anonymous wants to know your thoughts on the snowing scene in the nursery.
Which one is the snowing in
The
I like-
flashback scene
I like
with
the
the unicorns.
Cinderella sends all of her friends glass gifts. Like, ooh, glass slippers. I have glass slippers, so you get glass unicorns, and you get
Yes.
a glass fish, and you get
Although-
like, glass everything as baby presents.
Now we're all thinking they picked unicorns because, well, first of all, because of the mobile, and secondly, because Emma actually says to Snow in season 2, "I like the unicorns."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another anonymous wants you to discuss the Who the Swan Brotipi scenes. Did you
Oh,
like
dear.
them?
Yeah.
Ro, you didn't like them.
For 1 second, I thought you said hooded swan, so I was like, wait, what?
They were brief.
They were really brief. Although August
Emma
admittedly
was not
spent
in this
most
episode enough.
August spent most of this episode, knocked out. So
So did Emma. I was kind of disappointed in that. Like, I would hoped that an episode that was about like her finding out this big horrible secret would have more of her in it.
yeah.
They didn't even show them talking to tell
Yeah,
it.
we don't even know which, if they left anything out of what they told her. I mean, I hope they didn't, but
Well, we can assume that they didn't. I mean, they're not going to have that conversation on air wasting time when they spent the whole flashback showing us what happened.
That's true.
Yeah.
Except if it's something with Regina, then we get everything.
Okay, let's go to a deeper question, still from an anonymous. They want to know, how does the concept of free choice and making one's own destiny fit into the theory the finale being a whole rewritten alternative universe thing? Especially now that we know that the author is in charge of a lot of stuff. I thought we had decided that for this to go well, the author shouldn't have any real power and just give Regina and the Queen of Darkness and Rumpel a stern talking to about making the right decisions. Free will, choice.
well, you know how I think this is going to get fixed. That Emma is probably. I mean, they have to pay off Dark Emma. They can't go through all of this and then not have her be dark in this alternate universe stuff. It's Chekhov's gun. You have to do it, etc.
Yeah, the
Yes.
needle with the sleeping
Sleeping
curse last
It's
year
going to be
was
so sexy.
Chekhov's gun, and yeah, that didn't go off.
Well,
Honestly.
but
Anyway.
they didn't have a promo about Sleeping Curse. They had a whole promo where Rumpel's like, we have to make Emma dark, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
So if they don't do it, then that's lame. So,
Exactly.
so
And
if
I
they
really
do
wanna
it,
see Dark Emma and Darkillian together, okay? I have
here's
needs.
but here's what I think. I mean, at the end of the day, Emma being a hero or a villain, and for anybody being a hero or a villain, is their own free will, is their own choice, and that's something Emma's gonna have to learn for herself in this other universe. If she chooses to, reject the darkness and be a hero, then that would presumably, turn everything back, or some variation thereof. And that's
And I
how it's
want
going to
her
play
to
out.
be in a better outfit than Regina's outfits. I'm sorry. Come on, give
Well,
me that. Give me a good Dark Emma outfit.
it's really a question of would Emma have been tempted if she grew up in the Enchanted Forest by magic, and would have that taken down her a different path?
I just don't think we know enough yet of what the setup for that whole, for what we theorize the finale AU is going to be to really think.
Okay, we have here a timeline question. Anonymous
God.
wants to know, how does the timeline with Rumpel plus Queen of Darkness in the Enchanted Forest versus Rumpel plus Queen of Darkness in the World Without Magic work, starting with the scenes in 4:11 and 4:12? I'm confused.
We all are.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna lay this out.
Oh God.
Oh God.
When he met Cruella and Ursula, when he got them all together, this is when he was initially deciding to steal that dark curse. This was around the time he had not broached the subject to Regina yet. Regina, she was still in training. He hadn't broached it to her yet. He wanted to get this curse. Once he gets it, he has to figure out how it works so that he hadn't yet decided who he wanted to cast it. Remember, he was still, maybe I'll have Zelina cast it. This is early on when Regina was still his student. She was young yet. Then he gets the three of them to steal it.
And at some point, Maleficent steals it back.
Yeah, he gets it. The three of them almost get killed by that Chernabog, and it bonds them, and they become, the first Wise Club.
No,
That's just her life.
Maleficent doesn't steal it back. Regina trades it to her at some point for the sleeping curse that she uses on Snow.
Right, so Maleficent, yeah, she had the dark curse. She didn't want to use it at first. She wanted to go a different route, and when the sleeping curse didn't work, and Charming saved her, and she got pregnant, they had a baby, and they got married, she realized she had to use more drastic measures, and Rumpel wasn't going to let her go without casting it, because that was his plan the whole time. So she had to trade it. So they had to get it back somehow. And she managed. They haven't explained how she got it back, but she managed to get it back. Unless Rumpel just went to her and said, "Bitch, give me the fucking curse." So
No, Regina got it back in episode 2, season
Yeah.
1.
okay. Anyway, so she gets the curse back. She casts it.
So wait a minute. Rumpel gives Regina the curse, and then she trades it to Maleficent for the sleeping curse. And then when the sleeping curse doesn't work, she goes back to Maleficent and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, I need the curse back."
So
And turn that
this
into
is,
a unicorn.
yeah. So this point in time, I think Maleficent had just gotten pregnant, and this was just before Charming and Snow got married. Then Charming and Snow get married. Regina's making. No one knows yet that she's doing this curse because she's still preparing. So
Except Maleficent after she stole it.
right. So Snow and Charming get married. She doesn't realize that she's pregnant yet. When Maleficent realizes what she's about to do, she goes to the Charmings begging for their help because she doesn't want to lose her child. Everything goes wrong. She tries to appeal to her mother to mother. It doesn't work. Blah blah. 9 months later, Maleficent has her baby, or has whatever.
No, because Snow wasn't real pregnant. Snow was only a couple months pregnant when they stole baby Maleficent.
Just takes differently. She must just take differently because she's half dragon. But anyway, so Snow and Charming are freaking out because they don't want their child to be evil, so they go to the sorcerer. They cast the spell. The baby goes through the portal. Ursula and Cruella were obviously there to protect Maleficent and the baby while she had
Well,
just
they didn't
had
do a
the
very
egg.
good job.
And they were standing too close to the portal. And you know what? As bad as they might have been, they were a cohesive, motherly unit. They're good friends, and they were trying to protect her. And they were standing too close to the portal, and they got sucked in.
Well,
And
yeah, but see, that's the problem. Then it all falls apart because how are Ursula and Cruella in our world for 30 years and not age?
Adam said on Twitter he was going to answer that.
Yes, it will be answered. So when Ursula said that she was banished to this world, she wasn't really banished. She just made the mistake of staying too close to a fucking portal.
I think to go back to the question, the flashback in 412 where they stole the curse or whatever, that happened first. Then it was the 411 flashback where they kidnapped Belle type thing. And then all the other stuff that we've had in season 4B with the Snow and Charming.
Yes.
Then the kidnapping of Belle, then Maleficent goes to, Regina goes to Maleficent, helps her get her groove back or whatever. She gets pregnant, and then Rumpel wants to cast a curse. That kind of goes, yeah.
Okay, let's go to another question so we can just finish with them. 2 questions in one. I got those all in a row. From Anonymous. Weird that Killian was...
Wow.
Uh-oh.
This is new.
That's not good.
So.
Our fearless leader dropped out.
Did she?
Oh, there's.
Oh, she's back.
She's back.
What?
Serena?
Yeah.
We lost
Yes.
you.
Yes.
You did? I was
Yes.
talking. I didn't even notice. I was just talking.
You're going to have to go over that question.
I'm gonna repeat myself. Okay, from Anonymous. Weird that Killian was jealous, huh? Although it did give us a chance to see Emma fighting for him once again, so to speak. I love how chill she was about it. And another Anonymous. Almost laughing because Captain Swan cuddle and hold and hug and nuzzle each other after even the teeniest of conversation. That first hug felt unnecessary to me, but hey, I'll take what I can get. That talk about August, Emma cannot take her hands off him.
Of course not. I mean, have
Hey.
you seen him?
They're a very affectionate couple, and I'm not going to complain.
Nope.
I'm for it.
It's a source of comfort, Emma didn't used to be a very personal display of affection type person, but I think she's grown enough in her relationship with him that she recognizes he's the type of, he might not overtly seem like it, but he is definitely the type of person that needs that tactile comfort. You know, to know that I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Killian is a very touchy-feely person.
Yes, he is.
And that's something that Emma has had to adapt to. Not that she's
Well,
complaining.
Well, no, I mean she was more affectionate with Henry once she, after she broke the curse. It's just with people she doesn't know very well. With she's spent so long keeping people away, but once she's let you in, then her being touchy feely and stuff. That's who she really is. That's who she wants to be. But you have to earn that spot.
Ding, ding, ding,
And
ding,
Killian has now earned that spot. So that's another reason why they're extra affectionate.
Okay,
Oh,
last
come
question.
on, there's so much social tension. Seriously. Like, they must be wanting to live
Yeah, I don't understand those people who are like, the UST's gone. I'm like, what show are you watching? Like, are you high?
Just either nervous people or haters looking for any excuse to call the relationship into question.
Yeah.
I don't even listen to it anymore. I really don't care.
Nope. Don't care.
Okay, the last question from Anonymous, just to get a sense of how many people are listening, how many followers do you guys have. I don't know how many people are subscribing on iTunes or whatever. On Tumblr we have 261 followers, but
Really?
but I don't know on iTunes like how to see how many people have subscribed or whatever. So I'm not sure actually. I only have the Tumblr followers number. That's the only one I can say. And that was the last question. Thank you everyone for sending our question. As usual, you can do so on Tumblr, on the Captain Swan podcast blog on Tumblr. And do you guys have any comments? Any last comments?
That name is so really fucking creepy.
Not really. I think you talked this episode to death.
No, and don't forget that there is no episode on Sunday because of Easter, and as a result, I'm pretty sure the 21 and 22 are going to air the same night.
Yeah, I think it's already been said. I enjoyed the bit on Twitter where they talked about how the title of this episode was an egg pun.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what's the title of this episode?
Best laid plan.
I did
Oh my
like
god, why did we
I
get
did like August's reference to Walt. Everyone like immediately jumped on this. Oh, Walt Disney is the author. No, he said Walt Disney was an author at some point. Not because the author is not a single person. It is a job description.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah, I did too.
And Emma Hicks can conjure now.
Yes, Emma's getting better at magic. Yay.
Yay.
We didn't talk about that at all, did we?
No.
So much for the Swan Queen podcast. We didn't talk about Regina's storyline at all.
Because Regina's storyline. Oh,
yeah,
so should we do a little spoiler talk about the promo?
I enjoyed the part of the promo when the promo guys was like, "Oh my God, guess who's back?" with all the the clips of Rumble, and then it's like, "Zelina is back." That was like the definition of shade.
Speaking of Rumple and Zelina and being back, when Rumple's talking to Belle, he's like clutching his heart, and then they show Rumple in the hospital bed in the promo, and presumably I think that's Zelina like facing him because he looks really freaked out, as you should when when the crazy chick you murdered suddenly shows up, you should probably look a little freaked out.
Crazy chick you murdered who controlled your ass.
So what do we think is wrong with Rumple?
A lot of stuff.
Well, physically there
Where to begin?
seems to be something wrong with him.
It doesn't
And
make
that's what-
sense, though, to me. Like, they have to explain that, because theoretically, once he came back to Storybrooke and had magic and was the Dark One again, that should be gone. Like, you watched him walk into town and literally throw the
Yes.
cane away.
But
Like,
then
that
he's-
whatever was affecting him shouldn't. It's like the opposite of the Marion situation. She was affected by the freezing issue, so she left town, it went away. He was affected by an actual thing, he comes into town, it should go away. This makes
Unless
sense to me.
he also says though that all the dark magic he's done comes with a price, and what if the price is, you know, his heart is like rotten or something? That magic can't fix that.
But he's immortal.
I don't know. I'm spitballing. I have
You
no
can live
idea.
without a heart.
Maybe Zelina stole it.
Well, the title is Heart of Gold, so it could be a literal thing.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it is.
Uh,
Him in the hospital, and he pointed to his chest. I'm pretty sure he's got some kind of heart condition or
But
something.
that
I have to say, I think Robin is not pulling off that outfit. That's not. No,
he doesn't look like that dude from Wicked, really?
He's not
Yeah.
pulling it off, and I.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
sorry. Like, I'm sorry, Robin. I'm sorry, Sean. You know I love you, but you cannot pull off the Fiero look.
Right.
I'm sorry. Leave that to my Aaron debate, please.
Timeline-wise, I don't know
Norbert,
how.
Or Norbert. Also Norbert. Seriously.
I don't even know why.
try that
I don't even know why Robin would get anywhere near Rumple after Rumple tortured him. Because he's clearly going, well, where am I going? You're going to Oz.
Robin thinks he owes Rumpel a favor, so let's just go with the fact that Robin is a smart. He's
But see,
not,
that's the thing, though. How could they do that when Person tried to argue that Robin getting Person to Neverland was him paying back that debt?
Well, maybe this wasn't
Robin-
like a favor. Maybe he's getting something out of this, and therefore it doesn't count as a favor to the debt.
He
Why
owes him
does
for the
this
plastic
happen,
surgery.
considering that
And-
Rumple is still Rumple?
And
I
how
think this is before that happened.
and how is Rumple sending Robin to Oz? Unless he's got the slippers, which we know he doesn't have because Lena has them the whole time. How is he getting to Oz when Rumple can't get to the Land Without Magic?
A
He
twister?
sent a mirror to Regina that she then shoved her mother into that sent her to Wonderland. Like,
Yeah, I think since Oz is a land with magic, it can be reached with mirrors, hats, and whatever.
Cyclones.
Yeah.
we know it can be
Okay.
reached by the hat. We saw the green curtain in Hat Trick.
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
Yeah, and I don't know how timeline-wise this could fit in with when Will became a merry man, if he's in Oz with Robin, or if he's just
Yeah,
at the
because
Dark
there's
Place.
that spoiler picture.
Oh,
Finally, Will might actually
Before-
do something.
Hey, before you get too excited, here's my usual where the fuck is Anastasia? You thought you were gonna get rid of it. No, where the fuck? Like, seriously, if I do not, normally when you focus on that character in the flashbacks, you give him scenes in the. So if you do not give me a scene in this episode,
Hey,
then explains to me where the fuck my
Question.
beautiful, precious Anastasia is, I will fuck you up.
question. We had that report a while ago of Belle and Will outside the rabbit hole and some sort of drunken encounter. Could that be when we find out what happened to Anastasia?
I'm
said
not
they
sure.
said we were
don't
going to
know.
hear
When does
about
that
how Will and Belle got together, and we still haven't had that.
Well, we know how that happened. He was drunk and broke into the library.
Well, no, I mean how their relationship started, like how they go from him breaking into the library to being all kissy. I mean, that's a leap.
It's amazing how they've decided to put the two characters they could care least about writing for together.
Yeah, so they can ignore them as a couple.
But I don't care if you ignore them. I want to know what the fuck happened to my Anastasia. I don't care about Will. No. Well, I do. but I carry him as an extension of my beautiful queen.
Oh dear God.
Darling.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. I am biased. Yes, I am biased with my characters, okay? You do not touch my Anastasia.
Nope.
You're not touching her at all.
No, Will's not touching her.
Come on, you just want to torture me, don't you?
Okay, and with that, I think we are done. Like Michelle said, there's no episode this week, so we are
Which
not
is good
gonna.
for me because I'm not home.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be home either, so yeah. So we are gonna skip a week. If you miss us too much, I made some Capitals on podcast themes, and I think I'm gonna
Oh God.
post some some
I wanted to ask you
pictures.
about that. I was like, what the hell, Serena?
Yeah.
What the
I
hell?
was so bored today, so I did that. I have themes of every one of you, and
Oh, God.
Ro has green skin. And yeah, so I will.
You will never
Wait, am
live
I supposed to
that
be the
down,
redhead?
bro. As long as you live.
Okay. Am I
Uh,
supposed to be the redhead?
Sorry?
Am I supposed to be the redhead with glasses?
You have pink hair, I think.
Oh.
I'm not able to pick you apart yet. I can recognize Ro because he's the only man. Anyway,
wow.
I will be posting screen caps of each one of you. So
Okay.
anyway,
This is gonna be golden.
yes.
Lovely.
Thank you everyone for listening, and we will be back in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Happy Easter.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.